in general, what is my relationship to dreams? Well, I'd say it's, pretty much everything. The more and more I realize or learn about the unconscious, it really is like the birthing ground and the source from which creativity exists, and without the unconscious, we would be dried up wells. And so, it is like the great mystery. I think of the unconscious kind of like the sea and the subterranean sanctuary, and how it's like this mystery, but it's so deep and dark, and like, that's kind of how I think about it, as this, this insatiable source, this well of inspiration that always comes. I was really influenced. Some of my favorite painters are Native American mystical painters. Some of the Navajos and Hopis are just some of the most incredible artists. And so I was very inspired by the Native American ways and their rites of passage and ritual. And of course, Carl Jung, his amazing, prolific works on dreams and the unconscious just completely changed my, made me realize that there is this other dimension, or, this, that we can receive messages about ourselves, and how to it helps us to make sense out of our life, and I've had dreams where I would dream something and then it would happen later, and so that sense it was kind of prophetic too, where you get little warnings about something or about a person. For example, I had some powerful warnings about people where I realized, oh my gosh, and then it manifested in reality of what, kind of confirming what that dream was trying to tell me. At this point in my life, I was really wanting to integrate spirituality into my life, and I had some profound visionary experiences when I was doing yoga in the meditation space, which I think I was tapping into, some of the alpha, almost, dream stuff, very similar. And I had this is, very Jungian. I refer to this as the universal unconscious, and these are all the different symbolisms and sacred geometries, of the archetypes that you're tapping into in that meditative space. Right before I did this book, I was taking a nap, and it was just like this powerful message that I needed to do this. And
in a dream,
when I was doing the research, and I didn't know I was going to do this book, and it was just like I just dreamt that this book had to happen. And I sat up and I was just like, oh my God. And it was so intense, and it was like, that was so intense that it just catapulted me and just gave me so much fuel to just go for it, It's a beautiful collection of visionary art and goddess art. It's actually documenting a genre of artwork that has yet to be documented. I think when you're working on something so intensely, you're definitely processing in the dream state. And so, like, for example, things in my writing that I was maybe stuck on or not really so sure about.
So like problem solving.
Go to sleep, and I would realize in the dream state what it was that I needed to talk about, or the connection that I was trying to make, the point that I was trying to make. This is a piece that I did when I was in Hawaii, and it's called She Shell. called Shusha. It's a dream piece, and it's called Plumeria Dreams. And I did this when I was in Hawaii as well. There's all these little birds that would come and wake me up every morning. And I just had this, when I slept in Hawaii, I had the most powerful dreams that I've ever had in Hawaii. The water, the sounds, the smells, everything, it was so sensual, and I fell into these deep sleep. When I was young, I had some really profound dreams, and my mom was really into dream work, and so she helped me. She was the first person to kind of help me to understand and see some of the symbolism in my dreams. And I actually had three really profound dreams of the apocalypse, which were so intense that I was reeling for, a good 2 weeks afterwards. The vision for this piece came in a dream. And so this kind of goes along with one of the apocalyptic dreams that I had. And it's very mythical and symbolic. And but I had dreams about the decimation of the earth and the rising of the seas, and the sky is just blood red, and it's just, this is kind of diving into mythology, and the piece is called The Slaying of the Goddess, and it's a powerful ecofeminist piece. It's really about the demise of the sacred feminine in conjunction with the demise of the earth, and how this, basically the dragon was in many different cultures always been a symbol of wisdom, and the dragon, this is taken from, when I had these visions, I didn't really understand what it was until I read Carol Christ's book, and I'm blanking on the name of her book, but she talks about the Greek mythology of Delphi, which was a place of worship and ritual, and they used to worship Gaia at Delphi back when the goddess civilizations were still alive. And over time, there were these patriarchal warrior cultures that came in, and Apollo was a sun god, and he had a sword, and he slayed the dragon at Delphi, and it was this dramatic time in history in Greek mythology. And so this is kind of like a contemporary rendition of that, where the the
Slayer.
The lumberjack has his chainsaw, and he's slaying the dragon, and all the trees that were bronze have been cut, and this is Gaia, and this is like her protector who's being slain, and she's like in this moment of just like terror. And it's a really dramatic, powerful piece.
What we see when we look at this painting, is that close to what you experienced literally, as far as what you saw? Or did you take your experience from the dream and then interpret it onto...
Yeah, I think it was more of the experience from the dream, the feeling that I had in the dream.
And then you created a new piece.
And some of it was there, like the sky and, the decimation of the earth, and so that was there.
But was there a lumberjack in the dream? Or this is kind of a collaboration?
I'm kind of,
of the dream and the modern.
Yeah, and then I've kind of weaved in some
commentary.
Yeah, exactly. This is me with a tape over my mouth, which kind of is representative of the marginalization of artists and feeling like you don't have a voice. I know Frida Kahlo really felt that way, and so that's kind of symbolic of you know, as an artist, people think that you have all this creativity or all this room to do what you want, to be free in your creativity. But once you start making a living as an artist, you realize, well, that's not actually the case. You actually have to paint, do your bread and butter pieces just to, you know, to kind of sell, you know, landscapes or, you know, watercolor flowers or whatever, you know, blends in with the woodwork and isn't controversial. So you don't really have a voice. I mean, you take a huge risk if you're going to do something like that, painting, or, you know, not too many people want to put that over their couch, or, but they're important pieces, that they're just not too many artists will take that risk. And here's an Edward Monk Scream character in the back, which is kind of the insanity of our times. And then I have this golden eye of psychic intuition, which is like the focal point here, which is always, you know, calling me to keep my center and remember, you know, my calling. And so this is like my higher self here as an angel, you know, praying. And I was working at a bakery, and I was having to make all of these ginger peep cookies, cut out, you know, cookie cutter people every day, and put the cute little smiles on them, and you know, and I felt like I made so many that I was turning into one. And but this is just kind of symbolic, you know. You have the bourgeoisie in the blue suits, and the proletariat, the workers, in the orange suits, and you know, they're making these gingerbread cookies, and it's really about conformity, and you know, how we're all conditioned to we're all enslaved by this machine, you know, that we're constantly feeding on a day-to-day basis by, you know, having to conform to this whole mechanization of our culture. And so the painting is called Alert, She Is Waking Up. And so the alarm's going off, beep, 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 and then all these guys are like, oh no, she's waking up. She's turning into a human. You know, she was a ginger peep, and this is kind of me realizing that, you know, I've been working for the man forever, and, you know, I'm being exploited here. And,
so the experiences that you have had where your dreams are connected in some way to your paintings or your book, that link that you have described, that you've experienced, do you ever share that with your colleagues, with other people who you're collaborating with, or other artists? Do you ever discuss it? Do you talk about the dream connection with other people?
Oh yeah, yeah. Even though people may not understand that this artist got it from their dream, you know, was inspired by their dream, it's still on some unconscious level working on people. Right. You know, it's like the hidden subversive messages that are there, you know, and so we may tap into it on an emotional level, on an intuitive level. Art speaks that type of language, you know. Right. It's an emotional language that most people don't understand, but it does affect
on them.
Yeah, just like music. So
okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah,
thank you so much.
Thank you.